Top story. The war is expanding across the Middle East while new strikes have been reported in several countries. As fighting intensifies, thousands of Americans are trying to leave that region, and the U.S. is now stepping in to help them get home. WSAV's Margaret Chadbourne reports on the efforts to evacuate Americans.
The logjam of Americans trying to get out of the Middle East is starting to ease somewhat. The State Department is taking new measures like the use of charter flights.
The longer I was there, the more uneasy I kind of felt.
American families, students, and tourists trapped in the Middle East are scrambling to get out. Hundreds of thousands of people have been stranded across the region due to flight cancellations and airspace closures, leaving limited options. The Trump administration now facing fresh criticism from Democratic lawmakers who say they failed to have a clear evacuation plan in place ahead of the war breaking out.
It took way too long for the administration to offer help. If we're going to spend billions on bombs, we should be able to spend some money on getting American citizens out of the region.
The State Department resorting to using military aircrafts and charter planes to bring those stuck safely back stateside.
Since the launch of Operation Epic Fury, more than 17,500 Americans have safely returned home from the Middle East.
All this as the war widens, with even more European countries now getting involved. Democrats on Capitol Hill are continuing to push back, trying to limit the president's ability to fight the war without congressional approval. Republicans helping to block that effort.
President, the greatest military in the world, do this thing, get it over with.
Earlier this evening, the House rejected its own war powers resolution. 4 Democrats sided with Republicans, showing there is some bipartisan support in the House on this military operation in Iran. Reporting in Washington, Margaret Chadbourne.
And making national headlines tonight, a major shakeup inside the Trump administration. President Donald Trump has removed Kristi Noem from her post as Homeland Security Secretary and tapped a sitting U.S. Senator to take her place. Trump announced today that he is replacing Homeland Security Secretary Noem after months of controversy and intense questioning from lawmakers on Capitol Hill. Trump took to social media to say he will nominate Markwayne Mullin, the Republican senator from Oklahoma, as the next leader of the department. Under federal law, Mullin could begin serving in an acting capacity once his nomination is formally pending, even as he awaits Senate confirmation. Noem's departure comes as her tenure overseeing immigration enforcement drew bipartisan criticism, including over the department's handling of the high-profile incidents and spending. Trump also announced that Noem will take on a new role as the special envoy for the Shield of the Americas, a Western Hemisphere security initiative. A developing story now. A teenager in Liberty County is behind bars tonight, accused of murder. 17-year-old Maxwell Kohler was arrested this morning along Interstate 95 near exit 76 in Midway by the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force. The Liberty County Sheriff's Office tells WSAV he is facing homicide charges. Another person was arrested during the stop, but they have not released any other details about that. According to court documents, Kohler is awaiting extradition to South Carolina. The Savannah Police Department is investigating a shooting that left one man seriously hurt. It happened around 6:20 this morning in the 6000 block of Damascus Road, where they found a man with serious gunshot wounds. Investigators say the case is still active and they're working to learn more about any potential suspects and the status of that victim. 4 of the victims from a bar shooting on St. Helena Island have filed lawsuits against the bar's owner, claiming that he helped create the conditions that led to the shooting. WSAV's Andrew Davis spoke with the victim's attorney about what they say happened and how those survivors are coping.
The environment that Willie's created was not safe, it was not secure, it was unreasonably dangerous for anyone there.
That's the basis of 4 lawsuits filed by victims of the mass shooting back in October at Willie's Bar and Grill.
Zendaya Clark, she had a through and through gunshot wound to her shoulder. Shantae Smith was actually shot 3 times in the chest. She had a collapsed or punctured lung and then broken ribs. Tanisha James, she actually got shot in the jaw. They're fully aware that even though they were shot, they're incredibly lucky that they didn't get killed.
The suits claim Willie Terrell's staff helped the suspect Anthony Freeman get drunk or knew he was drunk, but didn't stop him.
We don't think that they were properly licensed to serve when they were serving or the time of day they were serving. And then, obviously, anytime someone is served to the point of intoxication, then they're liable for any injuries or any damages that follow therefrom.
Freeman apparently got intoxicated, then left and came back with a gun and started shooting. The victims believe security should have stopped him, but security, they said, didn't really exist.
We believe they were understaffed. We believe that any security that they had was merely window dressing.
Everyone involved knows Terrell is a small business owner and may not have millions for a civil judgment, but for the victims, this is about more than money.
What we do is to make sure things like this don't happen, to make sure that the citizens and the people in the community are safe. And Mr. Terrell created a wildly unsafe environment.
That was Andrew Davis reporting. We asked for Terrell for his comments on the lawsuits, and he wrote to us in part, "I strongly dispute several of these allegations. Some of the claims being made are factually incorrect, including suggestions that I personally served alcohol to the individual responsible for the shooting. That simply did not occur. The event that evening involved outside promoters and a large gathering, and the facts surrounding what occurred will ultimately be addressed in court." The victim's attorney says they have not been contacted by any of the other victims so far. They also expect even more details about what happened to come out during depositions in the case. They are asking for an unspecified amount of damages. The Chatham County Police Department asking for help finding a man connected to a financial card fraud case. Police say the incident happened February 17th at a business on East Montgomery Crossroad in Savannah. The person police want to speak with was captured on surveillance camera, and officers believe that they may have information about the case. So if you recognize this individual or know anything, police do want to hear from you. Anyone with information is asked to contact Crime Stoppers. Digging deeper now, the relationship between Chatham area transit leaders and union members has reached a boiling point. CAT says it believed the union was planning a strike, but ATU Local 1324 says that's not true. Still, frustration is running high over staffing shortages and declining service quality. Union President Danya Swinton told News 3 that CAT needs to focus on operational challenges affecting both employees and passengers. She says routes have been cut and services reduced multiple times recently. A spokesperson for CAT responded, saying the authority has addressed these concerns and encourages the union to report issues directly to the board.
The union respectfully urges you to redirect your focus toward the policies that can improve the daily operational challenges affecting your constituents, the riders of this system, and the workforce responsible for delivering the service. This is what a policy-making board and chairman are responsible for.
This tension comes as the Chatham County Commission has accused CAT of misusing taxpayer dollars, a claim the Transit Authority denies, but the Commission warns that it could cut funding as early as next year. Our military report now, 150 Marines from Air Station Beaufort are taking part in Cold Response 2026 in Norway, training alongside thousands of NATO allies. The annual exercise brings together 25,000 service members from 12 allied nations to learn how to operate in the harsh Arctic conditions. For Marines used to the low country's humid, hot, and flat environment, the biggest shock so far has been plunging into some frigid water. There it is there. Despite the challenge, they say this training has given them the confidence to operate just about anywhere in the world.
It's been a phenomenal experience getting to work with our NATO partners, just getting to know them on a personal and professional level, seeing how they operate and conduct themselves in their mission sets. Definitely learning a lot from all the different partners here.
I absolutely think that it is not only an opportunity we should cherish, but definitely be thankful every single day that we're out here able to get this experience and that knowledge that we get from our NATO allies.
Captain Leesman added that this exercise is not connected to current global events. He says the focus is on their current mission at hand while always being prepared for any additional missions. The city of Savannah is talking about big plans for an area near several museums. The details came from a recent city open house and planning process where the city and its consultant shared ideas for what they are calling the Railroad District. So the plan could bring more housing, small shops, food spots, and more museum space at Tricentennial Park, which is currently home to the Georgia State Railroad Museum, Savannah Children's Museum, and the Savannah History Museum. The property is owned by the city, but the museums are operated by the Coastal Heritage Society. The plan is still in the early stages, and leaders are asking the community for feedback. A Savannah nightlife and LGBTQ+ landmark is moving after nearly 40 years. Club One announcing this week that it will relocate from its longtime home on Jefferson Street. Club One has been a staple of Savannah's nightlife since opening back in 1988. Over the years, the venue has hosted legendary performances, including shows by the late Lady Chablis, who gained international fame through Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, the book, and then the movie. The club says it is moving to 301 Williamson Street nearby. That's the former home of Club Elan, which closed last November. Farewell celebrations at the Jefferson Street location will kick off on April 22nd and continue through the weekend. Club One's final day at the longtime home will be Monday, April 27th.